I'm Vinny Politan. We've got breaking news tonight. Put on your seatbelts. Get ready. You're not going to believe it. You are not going to believe it, folks. In the biggest case that we're tracking across the country, out in Moscow, Idaho, the mass murder of those 4 1,000% innocent college students from the university. The defendant, we talked a little bit before last week about, they may have an alibi. We think they may have. No. Today they file an actual alibi.
What's up, guys? True Crime came back. Put on your seatbelts. We got an alibi, apparently, from BRYAN KOHBERGER, like you just heard. This is a subscriber request. I've had multiple subscribers send me this video already, and it's only been out for less than a day, but I haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna see exactly what his alibi is, right? Of course, no matter what I hear going forward in a second here, remember, he is accused of 4 quadruple killings, okay? So, of course, he's going to say he has an alibi, right? He's trying to save his life, right? So, just wanted to get that out there, okay? So here we go.
Filing where he was at the time of the murders. Now, understand that an alibi is, to me, anyone who's innocent, right? Not anyone, but I would say 98% of people who are wrongfully accused are factually innocent should be able to provide an alibi. Like, it couldn't have been me because I was doing X, Y, and Z. And,
correct.
And A, B, and C can tell you about that, or this video can tell you about, like the alibi takes you away from the scene of the crime.
If you were innocent and you had nothing to do with this, you would be very adamant about where you were, and how there is no way that you could have ever done something like this, right? So, it's kind of weird to me that this is the first time we're even hearing about BRYAN KOHBERGER even having an alibi after all these months, right? I would think if he was innocent, he would have been screaming from the heavens as soon as he was arrested that it wasn't me because of X, Y, and Z, right? But no, we haven't got any of that until months after he's been arrested, right? Okay, and a little bit before his trial, okay? So right there, that is very fishy to me, right? Because I know if I was arrested, as soon as they would have put me or charged me with this, and I got my lawyer, right, I would have told the police, boom, hey, I was here doing this. I had nothing to do with these freaking murders, okay? I'm not a freaking killer, right? And I would say it every freaking day, okay? And I would nail it into all the detective heads so they could check my alibi out, right? And then release me from the freaking prison, okay? So it's very fishy that all of a sudden now, this is the first time we're hearing about anything about an alibi from KOHBERGER, okay?
It puts you somewhere else. It makes it impossible for you to have committed the crime, right? Every episode of Law & Order, the old show, the original Law & Order, that's the first thing we're on.
Good show.
Does he have an alibi? Every time they came across a suspect, did he have an alibi? Did he have an alibi?
Especially
Does the alibi check out, right? If the alibi checks out, they move on to the next suspect. So, time for me to reveal what this alibi is. Again, you're not going to believe it. Take a look. Mr. accused murderer has long had a habit of going for drives alone. Often, he would go for drives at night. He did so late on November 12th and into November 13th, 2022. The accused mass murderer is not claiming to be at a specific location at a specific time. At this time, there's not a specific witness.
Oh my God. See, this is ridiculous. Okay, so his alibi so far is he likes to just drive alone, right, for hours in the middle of the night, doing nothing, just driving, right around the Moscow murders, right? Hello, to me, that just further nails down that I think and believe 100% he's a stalker, right? I mean, what else do you think he's doing? He's driving late at night because he's going and stalking these women, right? Come on, it's not that freaking hard. He can't even provide what? He doesn't stop anywhere. He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't have any friends at all, right? He just drives around wasting his gas for hours all the time. Come on. We already know he's been to the University of Idaho all the time, so much so that everybody there thought he was a student there, right? When in reality, he had no reason whatsoever to even be there at all. Let's see if they've got anything else, because if this is it, I mean, put the nail in the coffin, okay?
To say precisely where the accused mass murderer was at each moment of the hours between late night November 12th, 2022 and early morning November 13th, 2022.
Yeah, and see, at this time, so that means there is no witness that can provide a specific, to say precisely where Bryan Kohberger was at each moment of the hours between late night November 12th, 2022 and early morning November 13th. He was out driving during the late night and early mornings. Oh, so in other words, you're saying he had the perfect opportunity to commit the murders. Hello, right? Oh, and let's not forget, when he tracked his phone, it turned off right when he was around the scene of the murders, and then magically turned back on when he's driving away from the murders. Come on, guys. This is ridiculous. I mean, keep nailing that nail into the coffin now. Seriously. This is just confirming what I've already been saying for months, okay? This is the man.
He was out driving during the late night and early morning hours of November 12th to 13th of 2022.
That's the last thing that you would ever even want to say. I mean, I guess he had to say something, right? You might as well have just stayed quiet. This does nothing but hurt you, Kohberger. Right? I mean, if I was a juror sitting on that jury, and his only alibi is I was out driving right around Moscow, Idaho, and there's no witness that can tell me that I wasn't around there. Come on. You know what I mean? They already got his DNA, and it's not touch DNA, guys. It's not touch DNA, okay? They got his actual cheek swab. The DNA on the knife sheath is DNA. It's not touch DNA. I still am getting some of you guys comment about it. Come on.
All night, just driving.
What are you doing?
Wow. Let me bring in Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter joining us on the phone with all these breaking details on her night off. Chanley, great to speak with you.
We don't need an expert to tell us about this, right?
And I'm looking at this alibi, and it almost strikes me as a bit of an admission here, Chanley.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is huge. We know the evidence that prosecutors have, not only following his cell phone the night of the murders, Vinny, but his white Hyundai Elantra along the path around the time
They
of the
got him
murders.
on video.
He's to being out there driving around, Vinny. We've been on the...
They got him on video, right? Driving back and forth, right past the house. Come on. You know? He doesn't have an alibi because he's the killer. There is no alibi if you are the actual murderer. Do you guys understand this? I don't know how you... there's still people saying that there's no way he could have done this. How? Why? Why do you think there's no way Bryan Kohberger could not have done this? Right? He sneaks through the back slider, okay? He has a K-bar knife that is meant for killing. They issue the K-bar knives to our soldiers for one purpose: to kill people, okay? He is a man. His targets were women, okay? There was one man. He probably didn't even know there was a man there. And even if he did, he's surprising all of them. They're in their beds, okay? And then he has the K-bar knife. These four innocent college kids were not armed with any weapons, right? They're not ready to fight for their lives, right? And, somebody commented, how did he get out and not leave any blood leaving the scene? Because there was blood dripping out from underneath the house. The blood was dripping out because there was a body laying there, right? There was a body against the wall. And over the hours, as all that blood drained out from the body, it eventually seeped through the house, okay? I mean, when you stab somebody, all the blood just doesn't come out at one time, okay? I don't know if you've ever go to a website where you can actually watch somebody being stabbed if you actually want to do your research. So when you stab somebody, blood just doesn't all of a sudden splurt out all over the place, unless you're just stabbing them in the neck and just on top of them, okay? It's not like it just starts jetting out, okay? He's not gonna have blood dripping all over him, okay? So, yeah, it's not gonna be dripping all down as he's walking out of the house, okay? And the reason why the blood was seeping out from the house was because there was a body there, and over the hours, I mean, it took Dylan 8 hours just to even call 911, right? So there's 8 hours right there where that body is just dripping blood. So I just wanted to answer your question. I forget. I think it was Eric that asked that. But that answers your question there. And if any of you want to fact check me, go to gorgrish.com. GRISCH.com, and watch someone get stabbed, okay? You'll see. It doesn't just splurt everywhere, okay? Only do that if you're over 18. Gotta, YouTube censors. I don't recommend doing that. Just for the YouTube censors, okay? But I'm just, this is just for educational purposes only, okay? You know, some of you think that when you stab somebody, like it's like a garden hose in your chest or wherever, and it just like starts squirting, like gushing out. No, that's not how it works, okay? And you know, they have clothes on too, so that's gonna soak up a lot of the blood, right? But yeah, the only reason, again, that it was started seeping out from the house was because there was a body laying on the floor up against right there, and then over all that time, all the blood from the body drained out onto the floor and then down out through the house. That's why. So that explains that, okay? And for those of you that don't think one man could stab 4 people that are in their beds, not expecting anybody to come and stab them, right? That's just ridiculous, because it can happen very easily, and it did happen in this case. I'm convinced of that. Okay? And it's not like he wasn't taking on 4 of them at once. Okay? He was walking in. There was 2 people in the room, and they were surprised, and they didn't have a weapon to fight back with. Okay? They only had their hands, right? Kohberger had a big knife made to kill people. Okay? Let's see if there's anything else real quick.
The ground there. I've been to all of those locations on the scene. We showed you where he was and the path that he allegedly took. So for him to admit this is it's huge for prosecutors. So this motion where he does reveal part of an alibi is actually an objection to a state's motion to compel him to provide an alibi, because there's a time limit in Idaho where alibi is an affirmative defense. You have to let the prosecutors know within a certain amount of time, you know, a specific date, time, who you were with, corroborating witnesses to that alibi. So
this is more of an admission than an alibi, okay? And in my opinion, Ann Taylor should have never let Kohberger say this. Horrible job by Ann Taylor, in my opinion. Horrible. I mean, Bryan Kohberger should never have even said this. He should have kept his mouth shut, right? He's admitting now that he doesn't have any witnesses to provide him anything, right? He's admitting he was just driving around doing nothing, right? And he's admitting that he does it all the time. He did it all the time. So it's easy for them to say he was stalking them now, right? Come on. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And, you know, everybody thought Kohberger was smart before this trial. And even up to this point, I didn't, but a lot of you did. This is not smart at all, okay? This is J.B. Gunner smart. This is dumb as hell, right? But, that's all I got. It's video's starting to get long, but yeah, start hammering that nail in, guys. Kohberger's finished, in my opinion. It's just a matter of time. Hope you liked it. Hit that like button for me, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. What are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Let's get up there. True Crime King. Out.